This is a great article for a refresher. There's nothing new under the sun. Now, they were doing this back in the 70s. They even had news articles on it when they were doing cloaking in the sky for warfare technology. So, for those who don't know about chemtrails and the other things out there like nanoparticulates, this is maybe something to look at. Now, think about it. By the time the public sees something, how long do you think it's been on the market already? And then think about the other uses in private technology. Nothing new under the sun, you guys, but a good article nonetheless. Scientists warn that blocking out the sun could have unintended consequences. In a last-ditch effort to try to stave off the worst impacts of climate change, scientists have debated for years over whether it would help to try stratospheric aerosol injection. Basically, the theory goes they'd try to disperse particles into the atmosphere that would reflect sunlight back away from the Earth. But a pair of new academic reports suggest that it might make more sense to hold off on any geoengineering experiments until we actually know the impacts they'll have on Earth. ARS Technica reports SURE models suggest that injecting reflective particles into the atmosphere would help cool the planet, but scientists still seem to have a weak understanding of what ecological impacts the experiments might have below. The authors of the report, published Monday in the journal PNAS, don't necessarily condemn stratospheric aerosol injection. Instead, they suggest it could cause unintended side effects, potentially damaging ecosystems, and that we ought to know what will happen before we try it out. Geoengineering advocates don't have details that ecologists like to look at on fine scales. Study co-author and Rutgers University environmentalist scientist Alan Robach, told Ars Technica they could do with better simulations. They could do with better simulations. But for what we would do, better data. But what we need is better data. Wow, see the messages at the top threw me off. But at the end, the National Academic of Science, Engineering, and Medicine arrived at a similar conclusion in the 329-page document published last month, in which experts suggest cautiously pursuing technology.
Inside a very thick document, which obviously shouldn't have been there, called Quiet Weapons, or rather Silent Weapons for a Quiet War. And this described a policy of mass public mind control that has been orchestrated on the people of the world, particularly the Western world, since the 1950s. See if I just
1950s.
read you a little bit of it. See if you recognize the world this document is describing. Experience has proven that the simplest method of securing a silent weapon and gaining control of the public is to keep the public undisciplined and ignorant of basic systems principles on the one hand, while keeping them confused, disorganized, and distracted with matters of no real importance on the other hand. This is achieved by 1. Disengaging their minds, sabotaging their mental activities, providing a low-quality program of education in mathematics, logic, systems design, and economics, and discouraging technical creativity. 2. Engaging their emotions, increasing their self-indulgence and their indulgence in emotional and physical activities by A. Unrelenting emotional affrontations and attacks, brackets mental and emotional rape, by by way of a constant barrage of sex, violence, and wars in the media, especially the TV and the newspapers. B, giving them what they desire in excess, junk food for thought, and depriving them of what they really need. 3, rewriting history and law and subjecting public opinion to the deviant creation, which I take to mean don't tell them who they really are. Thus being able to shift their thinking from personal needs to highly fabricated outside priorities. These preclude their interest in and discovery of the silent weapons of social automation technology. The general rule, it says, is that there is profit in confusion. The more confusion, the more profit. Therefore, the best approach is to create problems and then offer solutions. Diversion summary. Media. Keep the adult public attention diverted away from real social issues and captivated by matters of no real importance. Does that describe our media today or what? Schools. Keep the young public ignorant of real mathematics, real economics, real law, and real history. Entertainment. Keep the public entertainment below a 6th grade level. Work. Keep the public busy, 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 with no time to think, back on the farm with the other animals.
Thanks for sharing, David Icke.